I never thought I'd see the day when a suburban HOA war would turn into something that reminded me of field operations. But that's exactly what happened when Melissa, the self-appointed queen of Cedar Ridge Estates, decided my son didn't belong in her perfect little kingdom. At first, I shrugged off her warnings, the fines, and her passive-aggressive smiles. But when she used her own brat to humiliate my son, I realized she had no idea who she was messing with. Let me back up. Moving to perfect. After 20 years of government service, the kind that doesn't go on LinkedIn, I promised my wife, Rachel, that I was done. No more early flights, no more burner phones, no more disappearing for weeks at a time. We just wanted stillness. Normal. Our boy, Ethan, needed a restart. He was 12, brilliant, awkward, and happiest building robotics projects or plastering NASA patches on his backpack. We chose Cedar Ridge Estates because it looked like something out of a postcard, hedges cut with military precision, synchronized sprinklers, American flags on every porch, and a 70-page HOA handbook thicker than a field manual. We moved in on a Tuesday. By Thursday, Melissa showed up. Clipboard, visor, HOA president's smile that never reached her eyes. She handed us a welcome packet filled with lawn regulations, mailbox paint colors, and even leash length. Rules for dogs. As she walked away, she said, "Oh, and your grass is already half an inch too high." That was the beginning. The bully. Ethan met Cody on his first day of school. Cody was Melissa's kid, blonde, loud, and spoiled rotten. He had the kind of confidence only a child who's never been told no can have. Cody wasn't just a bully, he was a commander. He taped a FBI informant signed to Ethan's locker, shoved him in hallways, and mocked him for his robotics projects. When we complained to Melissa at an HOA meeting, she waved it off. "Boys will be boys," she said. "Maybe your son could try blending in more." I'd seen that fake benevolence before, from warlords and arms dealers. Death by 1,000 cuts. Then came the HOA. Citations. Garbage bin visible, $50. Mailbox the wrong shade, $75. Solar light too bright, $120. Halloween decorations up too early, $100. 5 violations in 9 days, every one signed by Melissa herself. Neighbors whispered to me, "We just pay. It's easier." Ethan grew quieter. He deleted photos of his robotics trophies. He stopped asking to join science club. One night, I found him sitting in the dark, staring at the wall. "It doesn't matter," he whispered. "He always wins." And he was right. The school wouldn't act. The HOA ignored us. The neighbors were too afraid. That's when I realized this wasn't bullying. This was war. Opening the box. In the garage sat a sealed lockbox. Inside, burner phone, encrypted laptop, surveillance tech. I hadn't touched it since Kandahar. But staring at my son's hollow eyes, I knew I had no choice. Phase 1. Intelligence. I tracked Melissa's daily patrols. She walked at 6:42 a.m. sharp and again at 4:15 p.m. I monitored Cody at the bus stop, always circling Ethan. I logged everything. Then I dug deeper. Melissa's landscaping company, owned by her cousin. HOA's legal counsel, a guy with a suspended law license. Holiday decorations, billed through her Pilates Instructors LLC. This wasn't about community. It was about profit and control. Breaking point. 1. Morning, Ethan refused to get on the bus. Later, I found a video on Cody's Instagram. Ethan walking to class, captioned, "Looks like we found the next school shooter, LOL." 300 views. Laughing emojis. The school called it poor judgment. That night, I unlocked the box. No more waiting. Phase 2. Counter-surveillance. I deployed micro-drones disguised as yard decor, one under Melissa's SUV, another at the HOA clubhouse. I mapped patrols, board members, and Cody's hangouts. Phase 3. Disruption. I filed anonymous grievances with the HOA's insurance provider, citing fiduciary misconduct. I baited Melissa by leaving my trash bins out overnight. At 6:45 a.m., she showed up with another violation slip. "You're slipping," she sneered. "You ever feel like this place is too controlled?" I asked. She smirked. "I wouldn't expect someone like you to understand community standards." I recorded everything, uploaded it anonymously to the Cedar Ridge Facebook group. 58 shares in 2 days. The cracks began to form. The kidnapping. Then came the night that changed everything. At 5:17 p.m., Ethan wasn't home. The school said he'd been checked out early by his guardian. Guardian, Melissa. I didn't scream. I didn't panic. I went to the garage, powered up the gear, and traced her movements. Drone footage showed a black SUV. Melissa in the front seat. Cody's father, Greg, in the back. Ethan, confused, not scared. I triangulated the signal to Melissa's shed. When I broke the lock, Ethan was there, duct tape over his mouth, zip ties on his wrists. I freed him. He whispered, "I knew you'd come." Then Greg lunged at me with a wrench. 3 moves, and he was on the ground. Melissa stormed in, screaming about trespassing. I activated my chest cam. "You impersonated a guardian. You kidnapped a minor. That's evidence." She charged, tripped over Greg, and hit the floor. Out cold. Fallout. I carried Ethan home. My wife clutched him like she'd never let go. Then I uploaded everything. Footage of Melissa, timestamps, forged documents, even Greg's attack. I sent it to CPS, the state attorney general, and 3 news stations. The story exploded the next morning. HOA president accused of child abduction and misuse of power. 2 board members resigned immediately. A neighbor named Henry, the old man who always walked his dog, finally spoke up. "Melissa fined me once for my flag being too faded," he said. I never forgot. The neighborhood turned. The collapse. Melissa tried to fight back. She sent an email blaming a dangerous neighbor with a questionable background. She even attached an old photo of me in uniform, labeling me a potential threat. But she slipped. The email came from her personal Gmail. Her treasurer, Gloria, snapped. She resigned, seeing everyone. Within 24 hours, 40 homeowners signed a petition to remove Melissa. I filed complaints with the county auditor, the HOA Ethics Bureau, even their insurance carrier. Coverage was suspended. The board was left exposed. Greg filed for divorce. Cody was pulled out of school. Melissa was spotted on her porch, smoking, hair wild, staring at nothing. When the vote came, the HOA banned her from leadership permanently. The lawsuit. Of course, Melissa tried one last stunt. A lawsuit accusing me of harassment and defamation. But when my counterfile hit, with GPS logs, video evidence, and Greg's notarized confession, her case was thrown out with prejudice. She settled privately, under one condition: she leaves Cedar Ridge Estates forever. 2 days later, a moving truck came. No goodbyes. No farewell. Just gone. Redemption. The HOA rebuilt slowly. Tom, the ex-cop, became interim president. Henry oversaw community safety. My wife Rachel started attending meetings again. They offered me a seat on the board. I declined. Ethan joined robotics. Again, he even won a regional award. When he walked across that stage, shoulders square, steady hands, I realized he wasn't just surviving. He was thriving. That night, I put every piece of gear back in the lockbox, wiped clean, sealed shut. For the first time in years, I wasn't a weapon. I was a father. The end. They thought I was dangerous because I stayed silent. They never asked what would happen if I finally spoke. And now they know.